Not so long ago, Jack, I made a decision that took the lives of over 40 people in a single day. I'm telling you this because history is about to repeat itself.
Guys on deserted islands always have great hair. It makes no sense. It's won Emmys. It's won Golden Globes. It's won the hearts and minds of orphans the world over. That's a look at the ABC drama series Lost. New episodes we hope begin next month. And sitting right next to me is one of its stars, Emmy award-winning actor Michael Emerson. He is as talented as I am bloated and depressed. Can you explain Lost to me as if I were a small and really stupid child?
It's a meditation on the subjects of parapsychology and fate cloaked as an adventure program.
Excellent.
He doesn't even know what meditation is, much less parapsychology.
That was good. Now, your character, Ben, he's the leader of a group called The Others.
He is.
A big question on the show is whether you are a good guy or a bad guy. How do you see it?
Well, and call me naive, but I've always had a sort of a notion that he was ultimately going to be portrayed as heroic. Although we've seen him do some things that were sort of ruthless and questionable, but I still have hope.
Yeah. Well, you always play villains, don't you?
I have on television, and it's a mystery to me.
You seem like a nice person.
I think I am.
Yes. Did you mutilate animals when you were a child?
No, I didn't.
Maybe you should.
No.
Go back in time. Now, last season, speaking of which, Lost ended with a flash forward that showed Jack and Kate off the island. Will this season start there or go back and show how they got to that point?
We're going to do all of that. I mean, we will pick up in the present tense of the action. We will pick up right where we left off. But the new season will take place on an exciting sort of three-tiered time dimension. And those projections into the future are, I think, really exciting and really for adults.
You're kind of scary. Yeah. But in a nice way.
That's why he's a villain. Now, how much do the actors actually know about what's going on? Do the writers keep you in the dark up until like maybe a few pages of dialogue, or how much do you know?
We're generally in the dark, and I know it's a disappointment to people that run into us on the streets.
Yeah.
But you know, I may get a script 2 days before it films, and there's nothing in advance.
Yeah. Incredible. Now, last season, we got to see flashback scenes of Ben as a child and your real-life wife, Carrie Preston, playing Ben's mother. So, in a sense, your wife played your mom. Now, wasn't that kind of creepy once you both got home?
It's a kind of a Freudian nightmare, I tell you. And we look at each other sometimes and go,
Does that scare you, Harris?
Yes. Everything scares me right now.
You're very frightened. All right, now you live near Times Square, so you're a city guy.
Yeah.
How do you handle living in Hawaii for 9 months out of the year?
Well, you try to transform it into a kind of a tropical Manhattan in your mind. You know, you go out late at night and you look for the jazz clubs and the hot spots.
So what you're saying is you go to like the center of town and you grab buckets of tramp urine and you just throw it all over the beach. That's what I love about Midtown Manhattan is the flowing ether of tramp urine.
And it gets better in the summer, much more pungent.
You can actually taste it.
Now the thing is about that Lost reminds me a lot of Oz, except without the nudity, which I kind of miss. But Oz has so many characters, and they keep piling new cast members. Now, do you like the fact that there are so many people in Lost, or do you think that it might exhaust a viewer?
No, I think it's exciting. They have a large story to tell, and they're telling it on many fronts.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting how people come and go on the show. And of course, we have a whole new sort of frightening contingent of armed people coming into the show in season 4.
Even scarier.
Well, you're much more frightening.
Exactly. Now, I got to ask you, how come everybody who's in Lost is getting DUIs? Is it because you have to drive everywhere in Hawaii?
I think because the speed limit in Hawaii is absurdly low.
Really?
It's a tropical island that is just a big speed trap.
I got to ask you one more question. You do audiobooks, don't you?
I have done.
Now, I imagine they must pay well, but I imagine how monotonous is that to read an entire book out loud?
They don't pay well, and it is hard work.
Yeah.
But satisfying work. You will never know a book as well as you have once you've read every word of it into a microphone.
That's what I'm just wondering. That would be the ultimate torture to sit there and go, imagine if it's like a really thick book. It's like you look at it, you go, every one of those words, I got to say out loud. Do you have to read it first before you read it out loud?
Oh, yeah, and you mark it with colored highlighters for different characters' voices and stuff.
Sounds like anchoring a newscast.
The tricky bits are dialogue. If you have a scene with 8 characters, you have to do a kind of a voice for every one of them.
That's incredible. All right. Gee whiz. Okay, we got to move on. Thank you, Michael Emerson. That was fantastic. Lost, it returns January, ABC, January 31st?
31st, Thursday nights.
Okay, still to come in the next 30 minutes, Andrew Levy's halftime report. He will do the report dressed as his favorite Golden Girl. Plus, why is this white